VR training platforms, like the one developed by Fundamental VR and Orbis International, are helping surgeons train over and over before operating on real patients.
As you practice each skill, the muscle memory starts to develop.
Learn more at meta.com/metaverseimpact.
From Wondery and Audible comes Class of '88, a new podcast hosted by Will Smith. Before 1988, a lot of people didn't take hip-hop seriously. But hip-hop today touches everything from film to fashion to sports. So what changed? Follow Class of '88 wherever you get your podcasts.
When there's so much that happens, watch what happens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that happens?
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker. Joining me is the one and only, the hilarious and fabulous Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie.
Well,
hello.
How are you?
I am doing quite well. It's Vanderpump Rules Day. We're going to London, we're going to Dublin, and we're going to Birmingham, England, all in May. If you didn't hear the news, that's the news. Go to watchwhatcrappens.com to get your tickets. We are also part of Netflix as a Joke this year. We will be at the Kookaburra Lounge early May here in Hollywood. So those are 4 really fun and exciting shows that we'll be doing. Go to watchwhatcrappens.com to get those. Also, be sure to join our Patreon if you haven't already. There's always a weekly bonus episode, which is fun. And then we also have Crappens on Demand, which means that not only do you get to listen to us, you can watch us. You can see I'm actually broadcasting live from the gates of Sir Restaurant. Yes, I have set up my microphone and my camera and my laptop and all my rigs. And I am here on the sidewalk of Robertson. It's also nighttime suddenly. And I am here. And you would know that if you were watching on Crappens on Demand. So that's all the great stuff to know. Ronnie, what's going on? What's up with you?
I am looking through colors for my lights, so I can have lights behind me that are a color too. Because
doing like
you're like
a gold look.
You look so good, and I just have like regular gold. So I'm looking for pink, but I don't know how to use this thing. I don't know how to use my Tom Sandoval lights very well yet.
See, I've got my Lisa Vanderpump lights on, but what's great is I don't have any of them on. I'm just using an image of her, so it looks like I've got them on. But actually, I'm discovering that if I use dark images behind me, I feel like I look a lot better, as opposed to
I look like Uncle Fester.
No, I'm not.
Who hasn't had enough iron. Okay, let's get on with this. Hey, that's my vibe. I'm an Uncle Fester who hasn't had enough iron, okay? I strive for that look. So let's go to this recap of Vanderpump Rules. Oh, I'm opening a new business venture. Wolf. Please don't let threats of suicide ruin my new business venture, Wolf. I was like, wow, you're really going a long way to sell some appetizers in Tahoe there, Vanderpump, okay?
Tahoe is such a strange choice in my mind for the next Vanderpump venture. I would think maybe Miami or Scottsdale or Nashville, but Tahoe, I was not expecting Tahoe.
You know, there's a restaurant here where I live, and it's a group of people from Tahoe, and the restaurant owners opened a restaurant here, and they brought the staff all from Tahoe. And so they're just like Tahoe people. Okay, it's called Artemis, in case anyone's wondering, and they are such.
After all that, it's called Artemis.
They're such Tahoe people. Like, I never really knew what Tahoe was like, but they are so Tahoe.
Like?
They're like earrings and, you know, lots of tats, and they just look at us like we're morons. I'm like, we have earrings and tats too. This is Austin, okay? It's not like you moved to fucking Pleasantville. But they're like, we're like cooler than you, and our lake is even cooler than your lake. So I'm like, whatever, get me my fucking hummus, you fucking Tahoe person. Tahoe people are very snotty. They're very snotty lake people.
Yeah. But you know what, though? You know why? Because they have a whole Tilda Swinton movie based off of them, you know, and that like gives you a huge amount of cred, because it takes a lot to put on a bunch of tattoos and earrings and go to Austin and try to out Austin, because that's kind of Austin's thing. But they're like, no, but there was a Tilda Swinton movie that took place in Tahoe, so we've got that cred. It's called the Deep
They
End.
also they have a bitchy name, because it's like Tahoe. Tahoe. Like, you know, they've got
It is. It's a little. So I've been to Lake Tahoe twice in my life. One time when I was like 21 and I drove through Lake Tahoe with my brother on the way back from Reno to San Francisco randomly. And then also, our old friend Joe Foz, who I started TV-gasm with 20 years ago, by the way, Ronnie. That started in 2004, that shit. That is crazy. So Joe Foz had his bachelor party weekend in Lake Tahoe. And there were forest fires. And I just remember driving up and I could see flames and there was smoke everywhere. And we're just like in this little cabin and there was smoke everywhere. And that was the first time I played Settlers of Catan. And now I'm a board game maniac. So I have
actually like some important
Where's my story going? So wait a second. I think I like Lake Tahoe.
I don't know, but that story would fit in right with Lake Tahoe people because that's just...
went in many uninteresting directions.
They'll just go on and on about how they fell in love with a board game one time. I'm like, that's so Tahoe of you.
By the way, could that have been a worse story? I went to Lake Tahoe and there were forest fires everywhere. I could see the fire, I could see the smoke, and I was in this cabin and I played Catan for the first time.
I fell in love with Settlers of Catan.
It was like I had to be evacuated. No, everything was fine. I just played Settlers of Catan and
I was there
10 years later.
Okay, so Pump Rules is the point.
By the way, we know what else happened in Lake Tahoe. A certain wedding happened on a Wednesday. Let's never forget. This is not our first time to Tahoe.
Last year, they went to Lake Havasu. Isn't that in Tahoe?
No, that's in Arizona. It's totally different lake energy.
That was Lake Havasu is where for sure. Those were some trash.
It is.
People.
That's like pontoon energy.
Yeah.
That's like Vicky Gunvalson getting hit with like a football on a pontoon energy.
Yeah. Okay, so here's something I learned about Vanderpump Rules. I don't know if this is true, but there are so many people who have Vanderpump Rules podcast from the show. So there's all this information coming from like Lala's podcast or Sheena's podcast or Raquel's podcast or Rachel, whoever's podcast. There's so much. I don't know who to believe, you guys. It's just so much. But one of the things I read in comments or Vanderpod recaps, who knows, was that this whole scene with James was just a setup last week when he was picking up Graham and pretending he had never seen Graham. He had already had Graham back, and that was just a scene to make everything look good. And if that's true, I don't like being manipulated like that. How dare you? I fell for it. I cried a little bit.
Wow, is Vanderpump Dogs now just like a stadium for manipulation? Because let's not forget that's famously where Lisa Vanderpump had brought Teddy to in order to talk about Dorit's dog, Lucy Applejuicy. Remember? That's what Teddy claimed. Like, she called me there and wanted me to talk about Lucy Applejuicy to make Dorit look bad. Hi, I'm Teddy.
But I should have known because Graham did not look that excited to see James, so he probably had already been walked in by James. But I will say James can cry on cue. That's pretty important.
That's pretty important. Also very scary. And maybe I won't feel so bad for him anymore because...
You feel bad for James?
Well, every now and then I feel bad for him because I just see like some dorky, skinny outsider child getting his arm broken on the playground, and I feel bad for him. So, I feel like I have so much more perspective on his pain than I do on someone like Jax, who, Jax was the one who broke the James Kennedy's arm on the playground. And then Jax is like trying to act like he has pain. By the way, the trailer for The Valley came out today.
Bonus episode alert. What the heck? I didn't know.
Okay, bonus episode. Yeah, I just happened to see it this morning, and okay, let's do bonus episode alert. Get excited!
I am, and the rumor is that Brittany left Jax. So I don't know if that's true or if people are. That's what this podcast should be today. I don't know if it's true. I've said that 20 times.
I don't know if it's true,
but it could have happened. I hope so for her case. But supposedly he went out and had a night with the Toms of debauchery, and then she found out about it and she dumped him. She moved out of the house. So,
oh no,
let's hope so.
No, she's not. She's got too many daddy issues to ever leave Jax. But I will say one thing. One thing that did surprise me about the trailer, without getting too into it. I was surprised that Brittany's gay is in the show as a full cast member. So good for him. He climbed his way up into reality star cast.
Yeah, you never know, I mean, just stay thirsty because you never know when that glass of water is coming along. I mean, that guy's put in his time.
He did.
Zach.
He did.
Zach is his name, I believe.
Zach.
Yeah, he's put in his time. I've seen him get into little snits with people online and stuff. And I'm like, wow, he's making an effort. Good for you, Zach. You go, boy. Okay, so
good for you.
Let's start this
anyway.
recap.
Tahoe.
That'll be fun.
Let's talk about Vanderpump Rules. So, you're saying it's about the dog thing. Yes. By the way, as long as you're talking about Vanderpump podcast, big shout out to Sup, who had a big live show this weekend here in LA. So congratulations, you guys.
Yeah, they sold out.
So
and Laura was in a Kyle Richards hat. So cred.
I was
actually
the hat was,
and it worked on her.
It worked. That hat was amazing, but I have to say I was fairly obsessed with Carrie's shirt,
the Western shirt.
Honest.
Yeah,
that was literally amazing.
He was like cosplaying country, just like an Artemis Tahoe waiter. So there, I said it. I said it. No, he looked hot
as much
always.
As I loved. He looked great, but as much as I loved Carrie's shirt, I don't know if it could compare to my surprise reaction to Brock wearing a kimono with a Speedo. Because that
he's so fucking
did
hot.
a lot more for me than I ever expected.
I love that guy. Fucking love Brock.
That was so hot.
He is so hot. I love him. Like, I don't even care. Don't pay for your kids. What do I care? Kids should have jobs anyway. There's my advice to your babies if they don't get child support. Get a job, okay? This iPhone was made by a child. They did a good job. What are your kids doing,
You want child support? How about you get youth support, okay?
Where's daddy support?
It's the child reckoning.
My sperm made you. Where's daddy support, okay? Did you pay for the Speedo? No, I paid for the Speedo, all right? Cheetah brand babies. Okay, so I'm just kidding, everybody. Pay your child support.
By the way, all babies are inherently cheater brands.
They are just little bald fucking.
Okay, you're gonna just use my DNA. You're gonna use my DNA and you're gonna try to be a new person with it. You're literally a cheater brand to me.
Oh, okay. So, I'm starting to really get upset with this. Like, we can't let Sandoval commit suicide. Stop it. Everybody over there, stop it. At this point, it's just, if you were so fucking worried about that, then what are you doing putting him on a show that you're profiting off of to use as a commercial for your fucking Tahoe restaurant over and over again? Now, I love me some Lisa Vanderpump, but this is getting gross now. Okay, this is a real issue, and you guys are just using it for fucking, appetizer sales at Wolf. Stop. Enough. Okay, so Brock, Summer, and Sheena are, Summer's crying, as babies do. So, trunk. Do we need to take parenting advice from Linda from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? Get the trunk ready. There's my advice.
Make out in the front, crying child in the back. So Brock is cuddling Summer Moon, giving her a bottle, and she's like, "Do you want your frog? Here's your frog." So she gives her a little frog.
Well, that's one way to make that baby feel like mommy's always home, because Sheena does have that.
She really does have that. Like, why are there so many songs about rainbows? Seriously, like I was best friends with that frog, and I cannot believe he left me for a pig.
Like, literally, like, I don't know if you know this, but, like, Miss Piggy can, like, literally put up a TV and have a manager less.
So, we get a new song from Trixie, which is great. Doesn't matter what I do, nothing feels like I feel when I'm close to you. Not even...
That's a derivative of Lala's song.
It's close.
If you think about it.
Na 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 na, like I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you.
Like I'm feeling you. Like I'm feeling you. Ain't nobody got me feeling like I'm feeling you. By the way, pretty good song.
Yeah, that was a banger.
Let's be honest.
That's
a pretty good song.
Good one. So yeah, Lala is tucking her dog to sleep on the couch, tucking her dog in. And then the song keeps going. Nothing feels like I feel when I'm close to you. And she's like scrubbing her kitchen, which I love that Lala's love music is to her like using a scour pad.
I know. And then did you notice that then it cuts to like a private plane taking off? And I thought we were going to Vegas or something. I was like, what? But it was just stock footage of a private plane. And I thought, oh, This is a commentary about Lala and the PJ. The days of the PJ are over. There are no more PJs. Now there's just... out goes the sugar daddy, in comes the scrub daddy. Just a counter and some
That
Ajax.
actually makes a lot of sense, because I was wondering why they were playing this romantic song and showing Lala using a scour pad. And I was like, oh, she's probably remembering all the time she had to do this to Rand's back, you know? But
on a plane.
On a private plane that Bruce Willis's dementia paid for. But your theory's better. I like it better.
Well, it can all work. They don't.
No one has to
conflict
win
or
in
conflict.
this situation.
No one has to lose. It's all of the above. She used to be scrubbing daddy. Now she just has a scrub daddy.
Can I tell you something? And maybe the audience can help me. I can't stop sleeping on my face. I keep trying to like sleep on my back because look, this eye's like swelling shut because I'm constantly asleep on my face. I can't stop. How do you stop?
Are you
Yeah,
on your
my
side,
face. Like I
or
sleep
on
like
the
this,
side?
like I've splatted from a very tall
on the
building, and I
side.
wake up and my eyes like half swollen shut. And
Oh, you listen.
it's karma for making
Listen,
fun of
don't
Andy
feel
Cohen
bad.
all these years and his wonky eye.
No, I've got this eye here is always much more sharp
Really?
than this eye.
Thank you. That makes me feel better.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna do
I have
like
it.
this.
I have an asymmetry.
I'm gonna do it like this.
I have.
Okay, this is what
I'll
this is
leave
the
my
problem with
readers
doing
back
video.
on.
You start staring at yourself. Okay, so Lala tucks her dog into the couch.
You know, if you wear readers, it obscures everything. Just so you know.
No, because it'll just make it look bigger. You know, not yours, mine.
But look, you can't see my eyes. I've got reflections in my eyes.
Yeah, well, I find that when I wear reflective things on my face, it makes people look at me more because people are fucking narcissists and they just want to stare at themselves all day. And that's like the only time people will look you in the eye. And I don't like it. I like to be like in the background. Just me, you know, I don't like attention. Okay, so Lala's scrubbing her kitchen. And then this song about how everybody like is in love is playing.
Love's
and then
Raymond.
Katie goes to pick up Ariana. And just in case you guys forgot that Katie's like a super cool girl who's really into like 80s grunge raver fashion at the moment. She's like, does it smell like weed in my car? And Ariana's like, no. She's like, good. Wow. Smoking weed in your car. Badass alerts.
Sounds like someone is trying to harness that Tahoe energy. Trying to give Tahoe energy when you're just a Lake Castaic. So we're still in LA. That's such a random lake. I was like, man, think of the lake as soon as
I
possible.
like that you'll
It's like a
even
bird.
choose the biggest words when it comes to lakes, because you really do choose some large words just in general, because you read the New York Times, and I've always really liked it. Like I Google what you're talking about sometimes because I'm ignorant, but I like that you'll even pick the biggest word to use as a lake reference.
Well, by the way, it's not a big. It's just a
big.
name.
It's big.
It's
Like, how do you
'cause
spell it?
when you drive up to to San Francisco from LA, you drive by Castaic Lake. It's like this little lake that's by the side of the freeway as you go up through the Grapevine and the mountains above Los Angeles. And fun fact, there's actually a water museum there. At one time, I pulled over and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to this water museum I always drive by. And I went to the water museum and I loved it. It was a great museum. So to anyone driving that drive, if you're going by Lake Castaic, or maybe it's Pyramid Lake, I don't know. But if you see a water museum, go check it out.
Listen,
You'll
you may
enjoy
not
it.
have children, but you're everybody's dad. And that's
If you ever wanted to know about the aqueducts that run through the Central Valley of California, you're in
Hey,
luck.
kids.
There's a museum on
when
the
you're
freeway.
on your way up to San Francisco for a good weekend of orgies and whoredom, be sure to stop at the Water Museum, okay?
Go to the water museum. Listen, they have plenty of water there so you can clean your sling before you go to Folsom.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
From Wondery, this is Black History for Real. I'm Francesca Ramsey.
And I'm Conscious Lee.
What do most people think about when they hear the words Black History?
Rosa Parks, Reconstruction, MLK, February, Black History Month.
Exactly. There are so many stories of Black history that we just are not really talking about or thinking about, especially outside of February. And we are about to flip the script on all of that. Because on this show, you're going to hear a little less
In August 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
And a little bit more.
She is a heroine to some. As a fighter for black rights, she is a villain to others.
Follow Black History for Real on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. Listen everywhere on February 5th, or you can listen early and ad-free on Wondery Plus starting January 29th. Join Wondery Plus on the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
Academy is a new scripted podcast that follows Ava Richards, played by HBO's Industries' Myha'la Herald, a brilliant scholarship student who has to quickly adapt to her newfound eat-or-be-eaten world. Ava's ambitions take hold and her small-town values break in hopes of becoming the first scholarship student to make the list. Bishop Gray's all-coveted academic top 10, curated by the headmaster himself. But after realizing she has no chance at the list on her own, she reluctantly accepts an invitation to a secret underground society that pulls the strings on campus life and academic success. If she bends to their will, she'll have everything she's ever dreamed of. But at what cost? Academy takes you into the world of a cutthroat private school where power, money, and sex collide in a game of life and death. Follow Academy on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of Academy early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
Okay, so the Toms are going to a store, and it is the Hatchet power supply, and I've got my fingers crossed for Terry Hatchet, because let's face it, no one knows where this season is going, okay?
I just like Hatchet power supply. I like to think that there's like, it's just like a whole bunch of like extension cords to power an electric hatchet.
Or to power Terry Hatchet.
Store.
You know, it's just Terry Hatchet. Like, she's exhausted. She's worked a lot, you know?
Ronnie, I hate to do this to you. Because in the spirit of comedy, it should always be yes and. But her name is Terry Hatcher, not Hatchet.
That makes more sense. You know, it wasn't really dinging in my head, but I wrote it down anyway.
You're like, why do I feel like my joke's not landing the way it should be?
Terry Hatcher.
But by the way, your point still remains. It would have been wonderful if Terry Hatcher showed up. Like, welcome to my store. Like, she opened up her own little.
She's
grocer.
like, I don't want people coming here to buy axes, so I changed it from Hatcher to Hatchet, which actually doesn't make sense because now that is an axe. But I didn't want them to know that I was selling axe. So, you know what? Let's just let it die. Not you, Terry Hatcher. I love you. Still love you.
No, like literally, I love you, Terry Hatcher, and I would love for her to open up a small grocery in the valley. And it's like, these are some of my favorite things. Carrot oranges, they're in season right now. I just really love them. Quinoa, I know that's like been a thing for many years, but I'm just like still a big quinoa person. So there's that. And then these are actually just pipe cleaners. And I just find that like sometimes you just want to do some crafting. So, you know, I've got my carrot oranges, my pipe cleaners, my quinoa.
That is
just
so
really makes me
an
happy.
ex-actress opening a store in LA, what you just described. And the occasional pashmina.
Right, like some sort of like jewelry.
Right, a couple of
like
cards.
Some jewelry
that
she's
her
made on
friends
the
made,
side.
You know? Yeah, that's very actress in LA. Okay.
It would be called Hatcher and Company.
So Sandoval's like, have you been to this store, dude? And he's like, no, but I hear good things. Oh, Hatchet power supply. And they're like, well, what are you here for today? He's like, oh, I'm a scrub. I don't have any clothes. I'm in my Adam Sandler era. That would imply some kind of success. Like, don't
That's to imply
yourself.
that someone at some point called you Big Daddy. That would imply that you somehow have something on your resume that says grown-ups. Or you could speak Spanglish. What was the one about the gems?
Uncut gems.
Uncut gems. I don't know, maybe some people have said that about him. We'll never know. Anyway, yeah, they're just at this place. Then we go to James driving with Graham Cracker. And Graham is like, he's got a little seatbelt on in the front seat of the car. Graham's just sort of sitting there. And James is like, I think this is so crazy. It's wild. I mean, you're in my car, Graham Cracker. Graham is my favorite boy. Graham is my favorite boy. You live in the high life, Graham. And that is but our house, Graham. Are you so excited? Question, how do you feel about chemtrails? Because we've got airplanes overhead. You okay with that, Graham Cracker?
Graham doesn't seem to be enjoying this. I said it, okay? I don't know what's happened to Graham, Maybe it's just not being a puppy anymore. Graham seems like he's taken some weed drops or something. I don't know if they're drugging Graham out to make him look like he's better behaved so he's not sent to the glue factory, because apparently he's a big biter. But Graham doesn't seem normal and he doesn't seem happy. And James is like tap dancing. Graham Cracker, it's us. Oh my God, I'm so glad to see Graham Cracker. Well, I'm sorry, but it's not mutual. Okay, your dog doesn't like you. So you're going to need to stop to the side and get some treats or something, because that dog does not like you. Bend over, let him smell your butt. I don't know what you need to do, but that dog hates you right now. So figure it out.
Well, we've all seen this horror movie. Like little Timmy went missing, and then great news, we found little Timmy, and it's like, oh my God, Timmy's back. And then like late at night, Timmy's just standing in the hallway, and then late at night, Timmy's in the kitchen just staring, and then Timmy's saying things like, I'll never tell, and then Timmy's saying things like, I want to go to the park, and you're like, something's wrong with Timmy. No, he's my son. Nothing is wrong with him.
It's Graham the changeling. Poor fucking yeah, Angelina Jolie is just like, that is not Graham, I'm telling you. They're like, it is Graham. We've got pictures with you and Graham. Look, it's Graham. It's Graham.
No, you brought me back golden Grahams, not Graham Cracker. It's the wrong
Brad
one.
Pitt's like, I'm cheating on you now. I'm so sick of you insisting that this is a goddamn dog that it's not.
Jennifer Aniston's like, here, let me just serve Graham Cracker some vitamin water. Or smart water.
Hey, Graham Cracker, do you want to use some Jergens? That's all I use. It's a 100 millionaire.
Graham Cracker, I'm so happy that you're back with your dad. Now, would you like to donate to St. Jude's? Okay, I'm going to stare at you until you feel guilty.
So he's like, oh.
I'm going to stare at you until you feel guilty. Sorry, more Jennifer
Another
Aniston-y.
thing that he is trying to convince everybody that he's super happy. Now, he does seem super happy with Allie. But I don't believe it, because he's really leaning into this thing like he is with Graham, where he's like, Graham, I'm so happy to see you. Whereas like the dog hates you. This is obviously not working out. And he's doing the same thing with Allie, where he's like, hey, me and Allie Bally. It's me and Allie Bally.
Allie Bally.
Like, you're really trying to make this Allie Bally happen. And
yeah,
I have to say, I'm not necessarily rooting for James this year. I know I should, because like, oh, he's making an effort, guys. Like everyone's like, he's making an effort. Here's why I'm not rooting for him. I don't trust him. He spits on doors, and he's emotionally abusive to people. And frankly, he's not fun when he's like this. I need James to be miserable. So I'm hoping that he's just about to pop, because it looks like he's about to pop. It looks like he's about to explode.
He does this. But he always has. He has a season of like where he's a monster, and then he has a season about, I'm a good boy, so we're in a good boy season. I agree. He's really trying to push the Allie Bally situation here. How about this? Could you not give your girlfriend like a nickname that like derives its meaning from a low-end casino in Vegas? I mean, how about like Allie Bellagio? Not Allie Bally.
Allie Four Seasons. Allie Four Seasons.
Allie Win. Allie Win. Ali Flamingo.
Ali Golden Nugget. What? I love that place, dude. So James and
Ali Circus.
James and Ali, he's like, well, I don't know what Ali Bally's going to think about this graham cracker, but we discussed you on a walk before. Let's take a look at it. When they were walking that median in Burbank, and he's like, you sure can't find this on the other side of the hill?
Would you like a dog? We could walk dogs on traffic medians too. She's like, I don't know. So now they're trying to concoct some sort of drama around Graham Cracker, because he's like, I mean, Ali and I have discussed a dog, and listen, I don't know how she's going to react when I bring my ex's fucking dog into the house, but I guess we're just going to have to deal with it, Ali.
Oh God, she's dealing with her ex's boyfriend. She can deal with the dog.
I know. She's dealing with the entire fleet of Southwest flying over her house every 5 minutes.
She's literally snorting chemtrails for breakfast. Okay? She'll be fine.
So now Katie and Ariana are driving, and Ariana's like, well, sounded like this morning was eventful. I missed Penny's call, but I saw her text about the poop. And Katie's like, oh yeah, the patio situation.
Poor Penny, the only person that actually works at this restaurant. Penny is the only fucking person on this show who's made any kind of effort towards this restaurant.
Penny's the one who had to clean up the poop.
Yeah.
Whichever one of you got wasted at the Abbey and got on took some Special K and pooped on something about her next door. I don't know whether I should be disgusted or at you or I should be congratulating you. I really don't know.
That's actually not where it is it? Isn't it more in Beverly Hills?
No, something about you is right down. Do you remember that restaurant like Headley's, I think?
No.
It's where it's that space. It's right down. It's like 3 blocks down from I think. Wait, now I'm paranoid because you say something on here, and next thing you know, it's okay. Something about her location.
Gosh.
I think it's on Robertson right there.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's right there on Robertson. It used to be a little restaurant.
Oh, well, cute.
That's why I don't understand why it's taking so long.
We find out in this scene. So open your ears because I'm about to tell you, boy. So Katie's, she's like, yeah, Chef Penny sent me a picture of poop. And she's like, I don't want to say things aren't going well with the restaurant, but someone did just poop on our patio. So, and Katie's like, we need a permit to obtain poop bags for humans, and we have to have a wrap because it has to be ADA compliant, and we have to get ventilation because I don't want it to smell like weed in there. I might be getting crazy, single Katie.
And Ariana's like, there's so much logistical red tape. Hello, if anyone's going to have any red tape, it's going to be my revenge dress, right? So who would I have to blow at City Hall to grease the rails a little bit? But it's West Hollywood. They're all gay.
Yeah, we don't do things for blowjobs. Those are the easiest things to get. Now, we might do it for some real meaningful conversation, but...
Or Kelly Clarkson tickets. Let's talk about what the gays really want. Beyonce.
So Katie is like, yeah, well, Logan's gonna check on glasses from Pump. Guys, really? You're taking 5 years. You can go pick out glasses downtown. You know what I mean?
I know. So Katie's like, my FOMO of missing this Tahoe trip, also known as my personality trip, is at a 0. And I'm not even sure Tom Schwartz thinks it's a good idea that he's trying to bring everyone together. I think he's just such a people pleaser. He doesn't want to leave anyone out.
I like she says that like he's such an asshole. She's like, oh, fucking Tom Schwartz doesn't want to leave anybody out. What a piece of shit.
So Katie's wondering what will happen if they all come back as besties. And Ariana's like, well, it'll be tough, but I have to respect my boundaries, and I'm not going to be loyal to people who don't reciprocate that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. However, let's see how they build an entire episode around Katie and Ariana driving around talking about permits for pooping at their restaurant. Okay, let's see how much fuel they get out of this.
Yeah, I don't think it's going well. I was on the gram today, and people, the tide has turned. The tide has turned against these two quite a bit.
Oh, really?
Oh, people are like, I'm sick of them. I'm sick of Ariana. Ariana's just so boring. I mean, I know I should be on her side, but I just find her to be the worst now. So, and they all say that about Katie too. Well, so that's what happens when you don't film with the rest of the cast.
I don't know. I mean, really, no one's coming out like doing a shuffle off to Buffalo. You know what I mean? Like, no one's coming out doing Wings. There's no real showmen this season. This is the season everybody's like, you know what? Let's just be sober and rent apartments in the valley and not have jobs. That's going to make a great TV show.
Also, Ariana's on Broadway, so she probably literally doesn't.
She does not care. And guess who else doesn't? Lisa Vanderpump, because she's making you go shoot at the restaurant she's going to use to replace your asses with. Because guess who's probably going to have a show at that restaurant? You know she is. Yeah. Because Tahoe people, let me tell you, they are not waiting for the next big thing to come into their life, okay? The next big thing in their life is the Artemis restaurant in Spicewood, Texas, and they know it. So they are going to fuck and do drugs for all eternity, and that show's going to last forever.
Yeah, Artemis. You'll never be a miss at Artemis. So now we go to James and Allie's house, and Allie is just sitting around. And James enters. He's like, I have a little surprise. And she's like, is that Graham? Shut the fuck up. Oh my God. It's Graham.
It's Graham. He's such a Libra. Hi, Graham.
Hold on, I want to do your reading, Graham Cracker. Yeah, he's a rescue now. Apparently there was like a foster thing, and it was like a pain in the ass, and he wasn't well behaved. It wasn't good, Ali Bally. It wasn't good, but he'll be a good boy now, Ali Bally.
And then the animal that's going to take the house when this show flops this season comes over, Banks. And Allie's like, oh my God, Banks has never met a dog before, James. What are we going to do?
I loved this moment. Well, because I'm a big cat person, and I love Mr. Banks being like, what the fuck is this? This is my chemtrail house. I don't want this big, floppy, messy thing around here. What the hell?
And she's like that too. She's like, I love cats because they're independent. But like with dogs, it's like you have a kid. Like your whole life changes.
And then James brings Graham out to the backyard. And James is acting like he's in one of those movies. Like he's Willy Wonka presenting all the children to the chocolate factory. He's like, Graham, this is your new backyard forever. I'm like, it's AstroTurf and like cement and like cobwebs in the corner. He's acting like it was like the grounds of Buckingham Palace.
That's LA. That shit's expensive. I mean, think about
That's true.
1.3 million or something that house cost. I mean, my God, think about what we could have lived in as children. We've been like little orphan Annie getting to that mansion, just twirling around in circles like, I think I'm gonna like it here. Da-da. I mean, in this case, you'd fall in the pool immediately because like there's like AstroTurf for 1 foot in a pool. But still, I'm just saying.
I know. Listen, 1.3 million, that is like enough to fund like 2.5 Kim Zolciak mansions.
It's like enough to eat at Chili's these days. Okay, bananas are like $30. So,
thanks, Obama.
The dog goes outside.
Better than Cheddar's.
Is it?
I'm still mad at Cheddar's.
Don't stay mad at Cheddar's. At the end of the day, Cheddar's is still going to be there serving carbs when you need them. So have some respect.
That's true. You were saying something before I rudely interrupted.
So Allie's like, wow, he peed outside. He's talented. Does Rachel know that you have her dog? Is she going to be upset about it? Because, like, that's not cool.
So, oh, well, she doesn't get to get him back. He's our dog now. It's property of Lisa Vanderpump, which means this is Lisa's, which means we're Lisa's little children now. We're best little boys. I was like, what does that mean? Is that? Oh, no, I'm sorry. She actually says, that's mean. But she said it with the energy of what does that mean? And James is like, is that mean? Goes, yeah, I mean, if someone took Mr. Banks from me after I lost everything, I would be so ... sad.
And she's like, yeah, it's not ideal because like last year it was her that was always around, and now it's her dog that's always around. I can't get rid of this girl.
And then the moment that I've been waiting for all week, because it was my favorite moment of the Previouslys last week, is that Graham goes up to the screen door and stares down Banks and then just barks in Banks' face. And I was like, I am into this rivalry. This is really working for me. Because you know that Graham thinks that he is like in charge, but there's a screen door there. And if there weren't a screen door there, like, Graham would literally have a face full of claws in him right now. Like, Banks would have fucked him up.
Yeah, I'm Team Banks on this one. I think Banks would win. Well, not Team Banks, because I don't want to see animals fight.
I'm Team Banks.
Although I did watch a video of a lake panther or a river panther, some kind of panther that can swim really well, and it ate a fucking alligator. Like, fought the alligator, and it won. And I saw the whole video. I watched it 3 times, because it was amazing. Got it by the throat and killed it. Anyway... this video was less terrifying, but I'm still kind of rooting for Mr. Banks, even though they've made Graham sound terrifying, because all the discussion about this dog have been like, well, Rachel couldn't help it because she went to the hospital or whatever, and then the mom took care of the dog, but then the dog was so violent because James taught it to bite, and the mom almost lost a finger to this dog. Because it bit her so hard, like the bone was just sticking out of her finger. And I mean, they've really made Graham sound like Cujo. So to see Graham just being like, me, 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 you know, like kind of going at Mr. Banks, who's like, you know, Like, if he was a bank, he would be like a teacher's credit union, like a small to medium-sized bank, you know? And he's still going at it like he can have it for lunch.
Better than Bank of Silicon Valley or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is no more.
They still love
some commentary. I actually maybe Graham needs Mr. Banks in his life. Maybe Graham just needs a cat to be like, you don't get to do that. Poof, you know. Because also, by the way, this is so fucked up for Mr. Banks. Mr. Banks is sitting here in this cute little Burbank home, planes going overhead. He's in his happy life, and all of a sudden, this big flopsy. I'm gonna say that's a word. Flopsy. This big flopsy dog comes in with its toxic masculinity, just acting like it runs the place, barking at Mr. Banks. No, it doesn't work like that. So anyway, Allie's worried about this. Allie's like, Graham, no. And James like, Graham, no, don't do that. Don't worry. Let Allie Bally, let them have a moment. Let them have a moment. They just need to have a moment. That's all. Just a little moment. That's it, Allie Bally. Just don't worry. Just nips. Just little nips. It's like, nips? I don't want nips from my dog.
He doesn't hold on. He just nips. Oh, okay. So the violence isn't prolonged. It's just short stabs of violence. He doesn't cut you open. He just stabs you. Short little stabs until you bleed to death. Come on, Ali Bally.
Get rid
Come
of
on,
Ali
Ali
Bally.
Bally. If you bleed to death, it's because you didn't get Band-Aids in time to plug all the holes. All right?
And then Allie goes, no, that can't happen. And James goes, well, nor do I want the cat to scratch him. I'm like, wait a second. This is not a, like, both sides. This is not a whataboutism
This
moment.
is why you never trust James, because
equivalency.
underneath it all, this is still who James is. You bring a terrorist dog into the house. You ate Rachel's mother's hand off. I mean, the woman has a hook now. Okay, you bring that into poor Allie Bally's house against her cat, and then you're like, well, I don't want my dog to get hurt by your cat. You are the one who brought the aggressor into this house. You don't get to make this. This is why you never trust James. I don't care how much he says he's changed or how much ice cream he's eating instead of, rails of Coke. Okay? I don't care. Don't ever trust him.
Yeah. I saw this stealth campaign to frame Mr. Banks to be some sort of violent, out of control feral cat. No. If your dog barks at Mr. Banks has every right to take that paw out and do that thing that cats do on TikTok, a little pop, 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 which, by the way, is the funniest thing when cats do that to other animals. Pop, pop,
I
pop,
love
pop,
when they do that too. That ting, 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 ting.
Or when they do it just to a friend.
It's like they've got one of those what are those paddle ball things? It's got like a little rubber ball that's tied to a rubber band, and you just like pat it up.
Yeah.
Like, pop, 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 pop.
When cats do that, it's the best. Pop, pop, pop. I don't like when they do it to humans, but when they do it to other cats, or to a dog.
Yeah, I like that too. You remember those balls that they were trying to sell that like strap onto your wrist or something, and then you hit the ball, and Kyle Richards was doing ads for them with her family, and I was like rooting for the ball to just hit her, just like smack her. Oh, good times. Okay.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So she's like, he better behave or he's going back to Lisa's. And then we cut to the dog, who I think is now barking at a leaf in the pool. Or a turtle. Which was it?
I think it was a little ball. Oh. I think it was a little ball in the pool. But either way, Graham was staring at the pool, sort of having an existential moment at the end. By the way, Graham is adorable. I feel like I do want to say... Graham is
of course
adorable.
He is.
I feel like I never appreciate.
I don't think that's even fair. It's like, oh my god, that hot blonde 20-year-old girl, size 1, like she's forgiven whatever because she's adorable. Like that doesn't count. She was born like a beautiful hot blonde. She still has to like not bat people in the face with her.
Oh no, of course not. But I'm just the hot beautiful blonde is batting people in the face. I'm just saying, I feel like I never really appreciated that Graham is adorable before. I always thought like, oh, it's another dog. But this time, I don't know. Like, I think it was something about Graham sitting in that front seat with his tongue hanging out. It was really cute to me.
And I think
it's really cute, but totally unhinged and like wild.
Dogs are like babies. They're all precious and adorable and special.
I need Banks to put Graham in his place, and I think that will solve a lot of things.
God forbid someone raise that fucking dog. you know? Okay, so let's go back over to Hatchet Supply. So Schwartz is like, whoa, look at these pants. These are made for Tahoe. And he's right about that, because if ever I saw a pair of pants made by a patchouli swilling hippie.
Tahoeite.
Fucking
hippie. Recurring theme.
It's those.
Yeah. So, yeah, he really likes these. And then Sandoval's like, dude, I'm like vibing with this hat. So it's good to see that someone is vibing with Sandoval still, even if it is just an inanimate object. And Schwartz like, that's cool. So then he gets a text from Jesus. I don't remember who, actually, Jesus. I wrote down Jesus and I just went to Jesus' place instead of Jesus. But who is Jesus? Does he work at the restaurant? I don't remember Jesus.
I don't know. I imagine he's behind on his rent, though, if he works for the restaurant, because it hasn't been going well over there from what we hear on this show. So,
it's a headline.
But I don't know. They complain about money, but isn't Schwartz like, I like this shirt. It's $500. Like, wow. Jeez. How much is Hatchet Supply donating for you two jokers to shoot here? $500 for a shirt from a place called Hatchet Supply? Oh, fuck off.
I know. Well, you know Terry Hatcher charges about $30 for her Caracara orange.
For a Hatcher shirt.
She has her own Hatcher shirt.
It's got like a Superman logo with like a no smoking sign over it, like a no Superman. She's all better still.
So Jesus, why don't I keep saying this?
Dean Cain, Terry Hatcher. I feel like if Terry Hatcher saw Dean Cain in a crosswalk, she'd run over Dean Cain and she'd be like, "You were hot once," and then just speed off.
Yeah, man of steel, man more like man of pussy.
Wow.
Run him over.
So then Sandoval's so he's like, whoa, did you see this? Rachel's back to her birth name. Call me Rachel. That's what the article says. And Sandoval's like,
oh, well, I knew about the Rachel thing, but wasn't my place to reveal that. And I'm a gentleman, so just want to get that out on camera.
So now he's going to go for this whole thing where every time somebody says something about Raquel, he's going to be like,
yeah, there was a secret I kept because I'm a good person now, dude.
Yeah. He's like a Rachel hipster, whereas anytime the piece of news comes out, like, yeah, I knew about that already. Yeah. So another headline, Raquel Levis leaves a mental health facility after 2 months. Yeah, I knew about that. Yeah. I knew she was out. Like, because I went to send her a text message, and instead of it coming up green, it went through blue, which means that her phone was turned back on, okay? And he sent a text that was like, hey, I don't know if you're out yet, but just wanted you to know I'm thinking of you, and I hope you're okay. And I'm really vibing with this hat right now. Bye.
$500 for a hat is totally worth it.
Do you want to go to Tahoe? So he got no response. And then he tells us, so this is what's so funny to me. He goes, I think that once I didn't hear from Rachel on my birthday, I started to really think that something was going on and she was purposely not talking to me. You literally just said her phone was off. See, this is the thing. Her phone is off. She's at a facility where her phone is off. You know it's off because you just had a whole spiel about how the bubbles went from green to blue. And then you're actually going to hold it against her that she didn't write back to you when her phone was off? Sir.
Yeah, well, I think that he was thinking, if she could get away and send me a postcard with lightning bolts on it that Ariana would find that I totally purposely let her find, so she would get really upset and leave the house furiously so I could get to keep the Lego painting of myself. She would, but since I didn't even get a postcard on my birthday, I guess it's purposely. Dude, she's in a fucking mental facility because of the drama your bullshit caused, okay? And not to say that she wasn't part of that bullshit as well, but she's even more of a dumb than you, okay? You were definitely the person of power in that relationship. Let the woman grieve, okay?
Let her, she's trying to at least ostensibly fix herself, which is more than you're doing, Sandoval. But by the way, were you vaguely surprised to hear that Raquel even had blue bubbles? I just sort of thought she might be more of an Android person.
No, I don't think she would know how to work an Android. Android, do you have to really know how to well, I haven't had an Android in a long time, but I used to love it. I got one because I wanted the Galaxy Note because it was the first huge phone, the phablet phone or whatever they called it. So I got one of those, and you really, back in that, that was a long time ago, but back in that day and age, you really had to know how to like sideload shit, you know, or like, I have to learn how to boot the new software on my phone, brah. It's like for smarter people.
I know some MS-DOS prompts, you know, to get this thing going.
Yeah, it's for smart. Whenever I see people, I feel like when you see people with Android phones, you're like, but when I see them, I'm like, you're so smart. Because you know how to like really fix a phone from the ground up. Because I feel like you really have to know how to tinker it up to own an Android.
I'm snobby about it, but I'm only snobby because I just need to find anything to make myself feel better about someone.
Oh, damn.
I'm just kidding.
Have you seen your face?
Oh, shush. So Sandoval's like, and then on top of that, like her publicist is sending my calls to voicemail. Like she doesn't even want to face the world. Schwartz was like, well, I can't blame her. I didn't want to face the world, and I wasn't even part of it. Just want to highlight to everyone, I'm not part of this. I had nothing to do with it. Stop accusing me.
I can't believe that a publicist wouldn't want anything to do with someone who completely wrecked her client's publicity. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
That's so crazy of a publicist. So Sandoval's like, dude.
To be fair, the publicist was Peter Madrigal.
Dude. He's like, everything's going a lot better publicity-wise now that you're here at the Miraval, but we should still date. You want to date? She's like, no, still don't want to date you. Sure, because I still think you're hot. Just wanted to let you know. Wow, they've really shunned Peter, by the way. Peter, I guess, grossed everybody out so much last season. They're not even showing Peter taking the occasional table.
He'll be back. He has a great storyline now of the time he almost got run over in the street by someone driving a car on the way back from a bagel shop. AKA me.
A man in a Kia with a fresh bagel touching his lips.
That would have been if I ran over Peter after we were the ones who started the whole starter pony thing. Man, he would have so much to be bitter about.
So Sandoval lets us know what he's worried about. He's like, dude, I just want to have fun, dude. Okay, well, maybe let's stop bitching about the person who's in a mental facility. Okay, and lost graham cracker.
Yeah.
Okay, so by the way, I hate that I'm even sticking up for Raquel at this point, but I think when someone is like in therapy and making an effort and also being completely tricked by that hyena ghoul, Bethany Frankel, that we should feel something for them, you know?
Our fellow nominee for the iHeart Podcast Awards. I have to say that I don't feel bad about standing up for Raquel because we all know on this show, whenever you stand up for someone, it's provisional, it's context. It's like, when you play video games, they say that like there's context buttons, like like sometimes when you're in this area, like Link will jump in Zelda, and sometimes if you press the button, Link will climb. It's all context. It's just that sometimes you just need to have someone there to be against Sandoval. So it's like, okay, Raquel is right now the context is that Raquel will take Raquel's side. But like, so the answer is yes, I did just compare Raquel to a button you press in Zelda.
And I hate those stupid buttons. It's like, hey, this is the button to punch. Unless you're close to a wall. Like,
have fun climbing instead.
It just makes me feel like such an idiot. It's like, okay, well, Ronnie's near a wall. Better have him climb because he's too stupid to figure out a button combination. Which, by the way, it's like they can see me because that is in fact the truth. Okay.
By the way, I've been working on my Link climbs a wall in Zelda impersonation. Here it goes.
When it gets too cold. When he gets too high and it gets too cold. He's like,
it's basically Tom Schwartz. Okay, Link is Tom Schwartz.
You need patchouli pants to make it up this mountain. But they're $500.
I just want to have fun, dude.
So Sandoval just wants to have fun, and Schwartz is like, I'm really sticking my neck out here. Oh, if this trip goes bad, everything's gonna go to hell. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna jump into Lake Tahoe. It's cleansing. Yeah, we know that you consider lakes cleansing, as that's the only bath you took before your Wednesday wedding, sir. Okay, it's still not cleansing. You still need to take a shower. You're getting married.
That lake is still polluted from when you threw yourself into a river and sent all your Schwartz mess into Lake Tahoe. So Schwartz is like, I just hope our little trip is like a fun, lighthearted, wet-hot American summer. And then Sandoval goes, hey, you guys have any knives? Oh, man. I hope it's not like The Shining instead.
Okay, so then we go to Sheena and Brock. It's funny because I misspelled his name, B-R-O-K, which is so much more fitting. The name fits him now. Sheena and Broke. So Sheena's like,
this is one of my favorite stores to buy bathing suits, Brock.
And he's like, oh, yeah, me too, honey. Did you know? I love a bikini bottom.
And it's I think we finally made it to Sensations, because this was definitely Sensations, because the store had one of those like cutesy doors where it's like a half door. They have a name, those doors. They have a name, okay? But I don't know what they are. You know, where the door can, like, half the door can open, but half the door can stay closed. So it's almost like you can have like a little coffee shop situation there. So it's like, look, welcome to my cute little... welcome to my cute bathing suit shop. I'm Terry Hatcher. Come on in. Check out our selection. So they go in there, and Brock. So Sheena's like, so Brock, why don't you like pick out something cute for me? Like I can give you like a little fashion show. And he's like, all right, well, I've got some party pants similar to that, so we can wear that together if you want to. Goes well with the kimono. And she says, well, I'm definitely feeling anxious about going to Tahoe because, like, just leaving summer every time I have, like, mom guilt. And, like, but, like, on top of that, like, spending a few days at, like, the same house with, like, Sandoval, like, just gives me, like, a lot of anxiety. Like, is he going to try to, like, talk to me? Is, like, Ariana going to be upset? Like, what's going to happen?
So I don't know. I forgot what her thing is called, like OCD, postpartum OCD. My mom had the opposite of that. She had me and she was like, bye now. So she was out of there. She just, like, left me on a fucking ironing board. It's jetted. It's like, see ya. So she's still talking about this. So Brock's like, okay, but I thought we had Tori. And she's like,
no, because Tori also nannies for another family, and then the other family just had a baby. So basically Tori has a baby now, so it's not going to work out. We're going to, like, need to start up.
Did you not know that Tori nannied for another family and that lady was pregnant? Why were you pinning your hopes on Tori in the first place? Okay. Now, they can say whatever they want about this OCD, and I'm not even doubting it's true. We've had a lot of listeners talk about their own experiences and stuff, so I'm not even joking about it or saying it's not true, but I am saying Sheena is just a cheap ass, and she does not want to pay somebody, and she wants her mom to do it for free. Why would you pay the cow when you get the milk for free?
The babysitting for free.
I think that's a dating.
Why would you buy
for
the
dating
cow?
Anyway? But you know what I mean.
I don't understand. Also, Tori, you're an actress. Why aren't you staying with the famous couple to nanny with? I don't understand that. Tori just doesn't have her priorities.
Well, she's gonna fuck two of the cast members later this season. So just you wait. Well, I don't know, fuck, but hook up or flirt with heavily. I don't know. I don't know what the previews are telling me.
Or just nanny for. Well, the frustrating thing is that we put all this work into finding a nanny, and I finally get the okay from Sheena, and then all of a sudden it falls through, and we're back at square one. And so he's like, he just wants to find someone that's not a family member, not a friend. He just wants to get someone who's professional. Because also when there's someone who's like professional, you can like yell at them or fire them, and then it's just like they're out of your life. But like if it's the mom, you can't yell at the mom without it being a drama that envelops your whole family for months to come.
Soccer,
so
Brock
like,
just wants to leave his children. Okay. Now, granted, he's doing it in a way that's more acceptable to society this time and leaving them with somebody, but that's really all he wants out of this. Okay, he's like, get me out of here.
Sheena's like, I'm gonna go like change into a bathing suit. So Brock is like, she's changing, and Brock is saying, look, we're newlyweds, and I don't think the top of the chain is to go, yeah, we're married, let's have a kid, and let's get the mother-in-law out here to our house every other day, and that's not a knife, this is a knife, you know what I'm saying? So that's not a nanny. This is a nanny.
Got a little Crocodile Dundee in there. Love it. Love it. Nice work.
Bubbled out. So now Sheena comes out in this bathing suit, looking, of course, like slamming. And she's like, oh, but look, I still have this. And she like manages to find a tiny piece of skin that she's able to like pull out. She's like, look, I'm going to get a one piece. He's like, but you're the kid. What are you talking about? So the lady is like, you look really
complaining.
cute.
She looks like that
Thank
after she
you.
had one kid. I look like I've had the cast of fucking Oliver.
No. I don't even know what the cast of Oliver
Tons
is
of
like,
kids.
but I'm just saying
Tons of kids. Like hundreds of kids. Dirty kids.
Now, do you mean Oliver or Oliver and Company? Because Oliver and
That's
Company would
dogs.
have a lot of adorable little cats.
Oh, dogs.
Was it dogs?
Cats?
Was it
I
dogs
don't
and
remember. I
cats?
didn't watch that one.
It was basically James's house.
I didn't like Oliver. I don't like dirty children singing.
You know what's so
asking for
funny is that I was
things.
just...
Please, sir, can I have some more? No, you can't.
I was on Instagram last night and someone put food, glorious food on their Instagram story, and it said from the cast of Oliver, and I didn't realize that song came from Oliver.
Oh, yeah. It also comes from that great musical, Velveeta.
Cheese, glorious cheese.
Was it Velveeta who used that?
Maybe. Not to be confused with one of my favorite food-oriented songs. Someone made a store just for me. Food Emporium, Food Emporium.
Wow. So she's talking. So now they're fighting because Brock's pissed and he's decided he's going to make a mark this season and have a lot of lines. So he's like, "Why can't we leave the baby with the goddamn nanny?" And she's like, "How dare you? We are in a bikini shop." He's like, "I don't care. We're screaming in front of the bikini lady." And then the poor traumatized bikini shop worker is like not making enough money for this. She's sitting in a corner, literally picking at the skin on her, like her cuticles. You know, she's bleeding by the time they fucking leave. This woman is like, has nowhere to hide in this tiny little kiosk of a store.
She's mortified because, I mean, look, when you have a door like that for your bikini shop, you're trying to set a tone of like, hey, welcome to my cottage that's in the Alps that you're going to buy a bikini in. Not like, hey, welcome to my den of acrimony and people
Welcome
yelling
to my
at each
actual
other.
place in the Alps where there was no escape from mommy and daddy yelling at each other. Oh, cuticles, where are my cuticles?
I'm just trying to figure out why you feel like no one else can do the job as a nanny. I'm in a bikini shop, stop yelling at me. But there's a fucking reason. It's because you're paranoid from your mom, and you're paranoid because your mom tells you you're not good enough. Then you go down that rabbit hole, so your mom starts to double dance and reminds you you're not good enough of a parent. Makes you want to believe in anyone else. Brock, there's like a bikinis around. Don't yell in front of the bikinis, Brock.
By the way, stop mom shaming the mom. Moms are supposed to make you feel like you're shitty at what you do, aren't they? That's how they live. Okay?
Yeah.
Mom shaming Sheila, whatever her name is, you know? That lady has a right to tell Sheena she's a terrible mother. It's called the Nature Channel. Watch it. Okay? It's called Our Planet. Give it a try.
Yeah, you think that panther went and killed that alligator without some talking tos from its mom?
Lady in Store is triggered, I wrote. Hello there. This is a 2-part recap, okay? This is the end of part 1. So thank you so much for listening to this. Just come back a little later for part 2.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Strolling the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary. It's the Green Fairy.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
She's the wind beneath our Jennifer Wing.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying. It's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch. She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. We want to hang with Liz Lang. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel. She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She's quite the catch. It's Victoria Cotchett.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.